Today's video is sponsored by W Jitterless Energy Blend, formulated to give you the focus and energy with no jitters or crash. Their formula contains vitamins, amino acids, and nootropics, including the patented Neurofactor, with more than 10 different flavors to enjoy and start your day strong. Are you ready to try W? Visit W.GG today and use promo code ARROWWAN to save 10% on your purchase today. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button down below if you guys have yet to do so. And without any further ado, let's get into it. So recently, there was a mini documentary that came out on YouTube as well as another platform, and it was talking about the downfall of the app Storyfire. Now, if you're not familiar with Storyfire, Storyfire was said to be one of those competing apps that came out back in 2017, which was originally thought to have been owned and purchased by Jesse Ridgway, whose YouTube channel is McJuggernuggets. But there's a completely different story here than what anybody really knows, and how the app, you know, had a downfall, how so much went into it, and then how they lost ownership so far. And of course, there is new ownership for Story app, which is still around, but this is that story. McJuggernuggets has been around for such a long time and has been known for his videos, his freak out videos, which were basically mimic or copy and paste from other YouTubers at the time, such as Waffle Pone, and of course, kid behind the cameras, Mike Green. He videotaped his father doing freakouts as well ever since the late 2000s and early 2010s, and have been uploading those videos to other platforms such as Break. But then he got his big debut over on YouTube, and that's when Google and YouTube decided to partner with each other, and that's around the time when YouTube content creators were able to create content, monetize it, and make money off of it. So there was a lot of YouTubers who have come out of this, big YouTubers who have gained thousands upon thousands, even millions of subscribers, who use YouTube as a tool today to make money, to create success. And these are young millennials, these are Gen Zers, these are up-and-comers. Anybody can do a video, have it go viral, and you can make 1 million subscribers within a month. And this was the case with some of these YouTubers. However, back in 2016 and 2017, content creators were starting to have a little slump with their content channels and such. And Google decided, well, we're going to make some changes. We're going to do something with the advertisements. They started pulling advertisers, or some advertisers started pulling their ads from certain videos that contain controversial or hard R-rated based content that included a lot of profanity, possible violent content, and such. So these were YouTubers that were pushing the limits with a channel, and they were definitely making money off of the stuff. But then in the end, what we got was considered the apocalypse of 2016 and 2017. Now, this is where Storyfire comes in. So, director Brian Spitz, who recently, within the last 6 years, created, or basically made up the documentary Psycho series, just a documentary that is based around Jesse Ridgway's YouTube channel, his YouTube career, and his Psycho series, including his family, mostly including his dad, who was the main star of the series titled Psycho Dad. Now, these videos, they gained a lot of popularity, as well as from the audience, who were pretty young for their age. You had kids and you had young teenagers that were watching these videos and actually believing that these videos were actually happening, and that this young adult, he's uploading these videos onto YouTube. This is a part of his life. But then there was other YouTubers that have come around since then, especially one known as Haggy Rants, who has appeared in the documentary as well. And Haggy did come out and talk about his side of the story, where Jesse offered him a certain amount of money and such to be in the documentary, but Haggy turned it down. But of course, they used his likeliness along with a couple other YouTubers who did not give him permission to put their footage in this documentary. Now, however, this new documentary, it goes into talking about Storyfire, how it became, and what all occurred. Now, watching it, this whole 45 minute documentary, we come to find out that Brian Spitz, even though he did the documentary for the Psycho series, he is the main owner and he was the creator of the Storyfire app, and he decided to bring Jesse on board to be his partner with it. However, there was a lot of financial troubles going on with this app. There was a lot of backsliding with this app and as a financial wise, and Jesse really believed that he can really infuse into this app and bring other content creators into it as well, so they can make money off of it and say goodbye to YouTube, because YouTube was falling into that slump and it wasn't paying their content creators that much for their videos on their platform, so they were all starting to jump ship. So Jesse, he did state in this documentary that he invested thousands of dollars the first couple years, and then like the second year or third year, he invested up to $1 or $2 million, and each year to keep the app going, he kept putting more of his money into it. So he pretty much, between 2017 and by the time that he gave up on Story app, that it was bought up by somebody else, he must have invested close to like $4 or $5 million in this app to keep it going. But the funny part about this thing is he was never made full partner. He was only getting 20% of the share from this company as a business, and Brian Spitz was getting the rest, which was kind of a bad deal. Like, you know, if you bring somebody along and you're basing this app off of somebody that you just recently did a documentary on and you want him to be part of it, wouldn't you want to make him partner with you 50-50 with this? And then, of course, a little bit down the line, Jesse brought on some friends, some other YouTubers, to be content creators as well on the platform and to take a chunk of the earnings as well. And that was Kid Behind the Camera and Boogie2988. But their shares were very, very minuscule, as they barely received anything at all. Even Mike Green, who was Kid Behind the Camera, who was responsible for the Angry Grandpa show, even stated that he wasn't doing it for the money. He could care less about the money. He was living quite comfortably with what he was getting. He was only doing this as a favor to help his friend out, Jesse Ridgway, because he believed that Jesse was real strong in this. He believed that this was something that, you know, that could become something. But however, due to a lot of fraudulent things behind the scenes, especially accusations of all three of them swindling money, but mostly Brian Spitz was probably siphoning from the bank account, siphoning money that Jesse was bringing in. So there was a lot of backsliding going on, and there was a lot of turmoil going on. And of course, the documentary even takes turns. It really takes a real sharp turn and talk about certain things that had happened within the years of these events. And one of them was a big party that Jesse was throwing, and he happened to invite Boogie, he invited Mike, and he invited other people as well, including a YouTuber by the name of Grimm's Toy Show. I forgot what his name was, but he was showed in this video that he brought a couple of what's said to be either prostitutes or strippers, and the party turned very hard. It turned very NC-17 suddenly, and with all the booze, and of course these two women looking for drugs to store at Jesse's house. That's when Jesse's dad said, okay, you all need to get the hell out of here. It's time for y'all to go. And there was almost a big fight between Jesse's dad, Jeffrey, the psycho dad, and Boogie, and Grimm's, and this guy called himself Grimm. There was almost this big fight, this big issue going on with them. And I just feel like this documentary, even though this documentary is focused more about the rise and downfall and then the re-rise again of Storyfire, but it seems like there's more of a backstory to Jesse's life as to what was going on at the time while they were dealing with Story app. So I feel like this guy, I forgot what his name was. You guys would have to watch it. I would have to rewatch it. So it's almost like you got the story of this app, and then you got what happens in between. You know, you got Jesse, who has these two friends on YouTube. You know, there are other big content creators as well, and they all do a lot of collaborations together. But then, like, with this party and a lot of other things going on, it seems like Jesse had cost himself friendships due to this app, you know, with a lot of things going on, and they parted ways. They haven't really talked to each other that much, and now it's like they kind of forgive each other. They forgive Jesse. They're sorry for a lot of things that have happened. But with this documentary, and it does go into play where Brian was pulled out as CEO and owner of the app, and everybody thought that Jesse was one of those that pretty much bought the app. He bought the business, but it was bought by somebody else. I forgot who the YouTuber's name was, but that person is still yet to be revealed. And Jesse, I think he stepped down, and then somebody else bought it. Somebody else was made CEO and COO of the company, and they interviewed these guys, and it seems like they got the app back on track. And it's ran like a business. That's pretty much what it is. It's like YouTube. It's ran like a business. You know, there's people who have money. They have millions of dollars, and they can invest it into this app and keep it going. So the app is still up and going strong. It's just there is no ownership of Jesse Ridgway in there. Jesse, I don't think it has a part in the app anymore. Neither does Boogie2988 or Kid Behind the Camera. But this documentary does definitely show a different side to all three of these YouTubers and what happened within, you know, within the last few years dealing with Storyfire. And it was just a fire that was meant to be burned out because you got three people who don't know anything about their finances. They don't know anything about running a business when it comes to something like that. And they try, and Jesse tried his hardest from what he stated in the documentary. You know, he invested a whole lot. He's done this and he's done that. But in the end, it just turned out to be feeling like another big psycho dad kind of video, because that's what Jesse is known for. He is like the more modern day age Andy Kaufman, where he will play you for a fool, like whether you don't know if he's serious, you don't know if he's screwing around, you don't know if it's one big fucking joke. But that's what it seems like to me. He seems like he's playing off the part of a modern day Andy Kaufman, fooling a lot of people. But let me tell you something. He fooled a lot of kids and teenagers with his Psycho series. And there's still even adults. There's still some adults to this day who believe that Jesse did go through that turmoil with his father, and they did film it. But then again, you know, there were so many people like me back in 2016 that were exposing Jesse for his videos. And it's not just the point about it being a fake reality show that he had put together and he spent so much money doing and so much time and effort, but it's the fact that he was also using kids. He was bringing kids in. They were believing everything that was happening, and kids and teenagers, and even some adults were sending money. They were sending video games. They were sending consoles into him through fan mail, even though he stated that he told them, don't send me anything. And they still continue to send him stuff. And he accepted it. So rather than stop it, which he did stop at one point, I forgot the reason why. But this is somebody who, I don't think he put a clear disclaimer out there when he began the Psycho series. He just put videos out there, and people started believing that this was all real. And it was going on for about 3 or 4 years until he did the final episode of that series, and everybody was starting to wake up like, wait a minute, what just happened? I thought this was all real. I thought he killed his dad. I thought this was all serious. No, it's not real. It's not serious. You guys need to wake up. And he lost a big chunk of his fan base who thought his videos were real. And then they went and started sucking ass of the likes of Haggy Rants and such, who they've been fighting and arguing with for like 2 or 3 years straight, saying, oh, you're just a hater, you don't know anything about Jesse. And then Jesse comes out and it's like, oh, this whole thing was just a skit, it was just a show. And all these kids who seem to be mentally retarded in some way decide, oh my god, I was fooled. However, somebody like me, or even my buddy Jeff, the Haggy Rants, we weren't fooled at all. We knew this guy was pulling a fast one with a lot of kids. We knew the series was a skit. We knew it was fake, but there were still a lot of people out there who believed it. And what our biggest thing was trying to open everybody's eyes and say, look, whether you enjoy these videos or not, they're skits. It's fake drama. And of course, it spawned a lot of other stuff out of there, but we'll get into that another time. But anyway, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did enjoy that documentary on Storyfire, let us know down in the comments. Let us know your thoughts about it and all. And did we get any information wrong? Did we miss something, or did I skew a little bit of information here or there? Please let me know down in the comments, guys. Also, be sure to hit that like, subscribe button on your way out if you made it to the end of the video. And until next time, guys, catch you on the flip.